Would you consider yourself famous?
Are we starting now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, bitch, you gotta say hello. You ain't got no opener or nothing. You'll say hello.
Let me handle this.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
I'm not saying shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I'm still signing paperwork. You just okay.
Let's start this again.
Yes.
Would you say that you're famous?
I would say that I'm well known. Let me take that back. Yes, I am.
Okay.
See, the thing is, what I've been going to a therapist, so that's why I had to take it back. Because I've been for so long, I downplay what my situation is. It's because it's like you don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable. You don't want nobody to feel less than. So you downplay it. So am I famous? Yes, I am.
But then again, let's talk about that for a second because then that has more to do with them and not you.
I understand that, but I understand that now.
Right.
But
Would you also say that there's an element of modesty, if you will, because we come from a community like a black culture where you're told as a child, stop bragging.
Yes.
Stop doing,
Yes.
we're taught to a degree not to celebrate ourselves
Yes.
too loudly.
That's true.
Because
Yes.
it looks like you're bragging.
Yes.
This is very personal work for me.
Politics.
I believe I was called to tell my story, use my voice, be a voice for the community, to speak to and for a community of people that's been ignored, denied, overlooked.
Religion.
This is my life's work.
Religion.
I want to use words to uplift, heal, inspire, encourage.
Do something different. Every Monday at 10.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressors, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Today we are talking to my friend Derek J. We first met Derek from Real Housewives of Atlanta.
You did not.
Where did we first? Hold on. Not you and I. I'm talking about the public.
No.
Okay, so the public first met you from. Hold on. Let me. Is it from Bronner Brothers or from the movie Good Hair?
Not even that.
Well, what?
So the public first met me on a show called Tears, Shears, and Beauty that came on BTJ.
Okay.
Which was also taped for Chris Rock's Good Hair.
Okay, so pieces from that went to.
Well, no, we were taping at the same time.
Oh, okay, at the same time.
Yeah, so we did BTJ's Good Hair. I did 2 seasons with them.
Okay.
And then that was in 2006.
Okay.
Good Hair came out in 2008.
Okay.
I was on Housewives. I want to say I did Housewives in 2007.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yep.
So people who are in the hair industry, they know you.
Oh yeah,
also
I've been to shit back in the day.
Absolutely.
From hair.
Yeah. So the hair industry, you're an icon in the hair industry.
Yes.
So people, especially those who travel to Atlanta for the Bronner Brothers show, because you've won several.
Well,
have you won?
I have.
Okay.
So the thing is, the funny thing about perception is, if you carry yourself as a winner. Portray yourself as a winner. People think you're a winner. Okay. I've competed in Bronner Brothers twice. No, I competed in Bronner Brothers 3 times. I only won 1 time.
Okay.
But I won the important time, the 60th anniversary. And it was also, like I said, it was televised, so therefore I win all the time.
Oh, okay.
So every time I watch it, I win.
Because that one was that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you're from Ohio. What city in Ohio are you from?
Toledo, Ohio.
So from Toledo, Ohio. So did you always have aspirations of being a hairstylist, or did you have aspirations of being on television?
No, I just had aspirations to be a hairstylist.
Okay.
And that's it. Being in Ohio, the only thing that you know from being a hairstylist is to just be a hairstylist, get a salon. Like your biggest goal is to have a salon.
It's to have a salon, yeah.
And that's it. I knew I didn't want to be in Ohio because it was cold.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was cold and it was boring. Which I tell all young people, if you are still old enough to stay on campus somewhere, go to school.
Right.
Wherever you want to move to.
Right.
We're gonna pay student loans for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So just get a student loan, take your butt to whatever city you want to go to, and then live on campus until you get it together.
So what made you want to move to Atlanta? Because it had a reputation for hair?
No, I went to fashion school here.
Okay.
So I saw a commercial for Barter College.
Barter, okay.
And I just was like, I'm going there. And
so you came for fashion school?
Mm-hmm.
And so how did you segue into hair?
Well, I already had my license when I left Ohio.
Okay. Did you have to go back to school once you got here because the certification is different?
No.
Okay.
So I had my license. I had my license when I left Ohio. Came to school for barter. I took a Greyhound and came here and didn't even see the school at first. And then while I was in school, probably like 8 months in, this girl says, "Hey, I know somebody that needs an assistant because I know you do hair. Do you want to work with them?" I'm like, well, why not? What I will say is that what black people don't do enough of is do research on people. So when she told me who the person was, I'm like, whatever. And my first gig with her was...
I think I know her.
Dee Wells.
Dee, yeah.
So, it was Dee Wells.
Yeah.
So my first gig with her was we were redoing a look for the group, the R&B group Black.
Right.
So when I get there, I'm like...
Boom like an 808.
Yeah.
Them, yeah.
Yes. So I was like... Who are you?
Yeah,
what do you do?
Dee Dee was doing everybody's hair.
Yes.
She did a lot of bad boy artists too. She was doing a lot of those music videos.
All the iconic 90 hairstyles and music videos, Dee Dee Wells.
She was doing it, yeah.
So I was in school. I was probably, I might be 19 at the time. And I got thrown into this other world that I didn't know nothing about. So it's like now I'm working with... I'm doing music videos. I'm doing Jagged Edge video, T-Pain's video. I'm supposed to be in the middle of my finals for school, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to LA because I'm going to 213.
Can I get a postponement on my...
Like, I have to go do a job, So, Dee Dee kind of... That's how I got into that world of things.
But how did you know how to charge people?
Well, I was working as an assistant.
Okay.
So I was an assistant. I just got a day rate.
Okay.
Back then, that's when the record labels had money.
They had money.
Yeah, so a day rate as an assistant, I was getting $1,500 a day.
Wow.
As an assistant.
Wow.
So that's when I had money.
Right.
So,
and so when you ended up, how did you find yourself on Real Housewives of Atlanta? The first season, because you were on the first season.
I'm on the second season.
Second season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy story. I'm out Gay Pride weekend at some club. Sheree was hosting it. Carlos King was there.
Okay, which was a producer of the show.
Yeah, which was a producer of the show. Carlos walked up to me and was like, hey, I know who you are. I need to be on our show. And I'm like,
okay.
What show? He's like, Housewives of Atlanta. It's the #1 show on Bravo. We the shit, blah, blah, blah. You need to be on it. I said, okay, well, whatever. So we exchanged numbers. I never watched the show. We exchanged numbers. And then 6 to 8 months later, he calls you like, where are you at? I need you to come to Kim's house right now.
Proof that your gift will make room for you. You didn't seek this out. Go ahead.
So he was like, he said, I hired somebody to do this wig party. They got to a car accident. They can't get here. I need you to come. So I was like, okay, cool. So I got in the car. She lived about as far as you did, about 30, 40 minutes away.
Excuse me. I am in town. Go ahead.
And so I rush out there, and then as I get out the car, they're like putting the mic on. They're like, here's the mic. This is what it is. Her name is Kim. She's having a wig party.
So you didn't even know her. This was your first time meeting her?
This was my first time meeting her.
Okay.
And they knocked on the door and was like, have fun. And then opened the door, and then that first scene of season 2, when I walked in, it was my first time meeting any of them bitches.
And so that wasn't a paid gig.
No. So I didn't get paid for Housewives. I never got paid from Housewives.
Okay.
I chose not to because I wanted to take when I wanted to take and how I wanted to take.
Right.
I didn't want to take a check from you and you tell
and then
me what
you
I
dictate.
Do.
Yeah.
So basically, if you notice, all of my scenes on Housewives, I always told them I need to be doing hair, talking about hair, touching hair in my salon. Like, I'm not their friend.
It's so interesting because Dwight Eubanks was on the first and second seasons, and when the first season was taping, I was co-producing a show for him called Behind the Purple Door.
Right.
That trailer is on YouTube somewhere. But I used to tell him the same thing. I used to tell him, Dwight, because people didn't know that Dwight did hair. To this day, there are people who do not know that Dwight did hair. And I was telling him, Dwight, when you tape with the Housewives of Atlanta, because we were making our show, so the world hadn't seen ours yet. When he was taping with Housewives, I kept telling him, you need to have scenes at your salon, or when they introduce you, your caption shouldn't say Nene's best friend.
Yeah.
It should say salon owner, Purple Door salon owner, something like, so people can find you and know that you do hair. But it never just kind of got to him. And then finally, when it registered, it was like when he was about to come off the show.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's what. So that's why I never accepted a check.
So did you have friends that would say, "Well, you haven't gotten paid yet. Why aren't you getting paid?"
I don't nobody in my business.
Okay. So, but that opened up. But the reason that I asked that is because I think a lot of times people think that everything that you do, you're supposed to get a check for.
Oh yeah, no.
And I think that you need to know when to request the check and when to just take the experience.
I do think that it was at a point where I should have been getting a check. I just never did. But all of my experiences led to other stuff. So,
exactly. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't hard work. I mean, it wasn't like I was taking with them every day. I was like, girl, I'll come do a scene with you once every 2 weeks. Like,
right.
It wasn't that serious.
Right. But eventually I remember them taping in J Spot too. So that gave you exposure.
They taped my salon a couple of times. Like that's what I made sure that was my trade off.
Right. So how did the Fashion Queen show come about? Because you had already built a relationship with Bravo?
Yes and no.
That was the show with you, Bevy, and Miss Lawrence.
Yes. So how that came about was, we don't even know how it really came about because we was driving down the street I was driving down the street one day and Andy called me and was like, "Hey, it's Andy Cohen. I'm thinking about doing this show. Do you know Bevy?" I'm like, "I know Bevy. Do you know Lawrence?" He's like, "I just want to think about y'all to do a show together." And that's how that came about. It wasn't even no real. We didn't know. Right. We didn't know that this was a show that was even being put together.
And like for me, like I always felt like I remember when you and I first met. We met through someone I was dating.
Yes.
And many years ago, and I remember us having conversations at some point about you should look into doing a shoe line.
Yes.
Because at that point, the world knew you as, the guy on Housewives wearing the heels.
Yes.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I hadn't seen a guy wearing heels on television up to that point outside of Prince or something
the Lawrence was on season 1. Okay. He had him on. But then I came in on season 2.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But see the thing, and that's people. See the thing that people understand is that like a lot of stuff that seem obvious is really not that obvious.
Right.
Like so it's like, oh my God, you're the guy that wears shoes. We know you wear shoes. You should have a shoe line. But which I should. But what you gotta remember too, I'm a black gay man wearing women's clothes and women's shoes. So when white Jewish people run the shoe industry, how do you explain to them that this makes sense? That this makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a woman.
Right.
So it's like to them they're like, I don't get this.
Right.
You know, so that's why that never happened because it was like, I mean, I see what you're talking about, but this doesn't make any sense. So, and it wasn't. I never had a team to push and figure it out and try to make something happen. So it just never happened.
So let's go back. So you're from Toledo, Ohio.
Yes.
When did you first begin wearing heels?
I was 25 years old.
When you moved to Atlanta?
When I moved to Atlanta when I was 19.
Okay.
I was 25. It was my 25th birthday. I was trying to find something to wear. I bought some pants that were too long. I didn't have time to get them hemmed because it was not at my party. So I bought some heels. That's how it started.
So what kind of courage does it take to wear heels out in public?
Well, the thing is that when I first started, I always wore slacks. So it was like a slack. So you really never could see them. It only just gave you the height and just so you really can never see them. At first it was weird. If it was because you didn't know what people was gonna think. Surprisingly, people was real receptive of it.
Were you ever embarrassed? Were you ever in a situation where you were made to feel embarrassed?
No, because I don't put myself in those situations.
Okay. See,
I have a friend that dresses in full situation. Not drag, but like he'll have on heels, a dress, a bald head, lipstick. It's just a lot. And they're like, let's go to Onyx. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm not going to Onyx with you. Because I wouldn't go to Onyx.
Right.
So why would I wouldn't put myself in those situations.
So have you ever been in like a gay environment though and were made to feel some kind of way because maybe people were off to the side laughing or pointing or whatever? Because sometimes we can be very hard on each other.
The thing about me, which I have always been, like, first of all, like I've never gone nowhere by myself. That's one. Secondly, when I'm with people, I'm literally with my, like, I don't even see what's going on around me. Like, so nobody else matters to me.
Right.
For the, like, through the night. So I don't even care. Which is good and it's bad because shit be going on. I don't be know what be happening. But I literally don't know what's going on around me.
What's your relationship like with like your parents or your mom? What did they say about the heels, and how did they find out?
So our relationship is good. Like, we don't have a bad relationship. My dad, my stepdad, he came to my house. But my mom and my dad came to visit, and they looked in my closet, and he was like, "Sure got a lot of shoes."
So this is before television.
No, this is after television.
So they hadn't seen you on TV?
They had, but. They have, but but they never seen it in.
They don't get Housewives in Toledo.
I don't think my mom don't watch those Housewives, but they saw me in Good Hair, so they did see me in that. But I think that it's one thing. It's one thing to see it on television. There's one thing to be like, oh, you don't got just one pair. You got like 60 pair. Like it's not like it's that. So I think it was more of a thing. So he was like, he's like, okay, this is.
Different.
This is different. This worked for you. I couldn't do it, but it worked for you. That was his conversation. My mom conversation, she was like, let's go to the mall. I was like, okay, cool. So then as we're driving to the mall, she says, like, we're literally in the car dead silence. This is after we had a true conversation.
And it's just the two of you?
It's the two of us.
Okay.
And she just comes out, she says, is it my fault? And I said no.
So had you had the gay conversation before this?
This is the full conversation for
Okay.
This is our first and last conversation.
Okay.
She's like, is it my fault? I said no. She said, are you sure? I said yes. She said, do you want to be a woman? I said no. She said, are you sure? I said yes. And she said, am I gonna have any grandchildren? I said, not for me. But I mean, my sister may have some, or I may adopt one. She was like, okay. So are you sure it's my fault? Not my fault. I said, I'm positive. She said, so it's something I have to deal with and just learn to live with? I said, you do. And that was it.
Wow.
That was the conversation.
Your stepfather, you hadn't had a conversation prior to that with him either? So what about your sister? How did she feel? Because
she's a lesbian. So, so it was all.
How y'all doing?
You're right. We're reversed. She's butch. I'm ladylike. So it's all we're reversed.
So so your mom doesn't?
Yeah, she's just my mom's. And secretly she's going crazy. And she, but there's nothing that we can do about it.
That is, wow. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah,
and I've been to your house for Thanksgiving dinner and did not know that.
So I think that I took my mom with them on a time during a cruise, and I think that's when she really got to really understand that it's not as bad as she thinks. Because she was more about, they're going to talk about you, they're going to beat you, they're going to be you're my child, right. But then we went on a time during a cruise, and it was so many parents stopping me saying that they want to thank me because I was able to give their gay child and them
freedom,
a connection. They now have something in common to talk about. Also, when it was like she saw we're on the boat and I walk past Biz Marquis and Biz was like, yo, D, what's up? She's like, and I'm in full booty shorts, the thigh high boots, like I'm in a full situation. She's like, he's talking to you? I'm like, yes. Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat, like all these men, too short. It's like he was like too short, so he was like, I get it.
Right.
I get it. Like he was like, keep doing you, I get it. So when she saw that she was like, oh, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
So when did you know that you were famous?
See, the thing about it was that I already, because like I said, coming from the hair world, I was already popular in the hair world. As far as famous, it's like when you go to a different state and they're like, "Hey, I know you. Can I take a picture?"
When was that? When you don't remember the city?
No, I don't.
Because I remember when I lived in LA. I remember you remember when you came out there to LA and we hung out in West Hollywood. It was you and a few other people, and I remember B. Scott was with us too. And I remember you were like on fire. in LA.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Derek. Oh my God.
Because I don't go over there. So I was like, when I go to LA, when I go to New York, it's like I don't know, because it's always been that way for me. Because if it wasn't me being on television, when I would go places and just meet other people in the beauty industry, they're like,
they knew.
Oh
who
my
you
God,
were. Right.
yeah, you know, like before I was like really on TV, and I was at Essence Festival, and I like saw Sam Fine. It's like, you're Derek J. I'm like, no, you Sam Fine. Right. Like, let's not like,
right.
Come on now. So like they already. So it was an easy transition to me. So I never paid attention to when that moment was. It was just an easy transition.
So what are the perks of being famous?
You know what? Honestly, because I'm just not embracing it.
You're just now embracing it.
Yeah. Just when I say just now, I mean like literally like
today.
Like today. Like just when you.
What do you mean? Like, like yesterday, we happened to run into each other in a FedEx.
Yeah.
And the girl at the counter, you went to the restroom. We chatted for a moment, and you said, "Let me run to the restroom." You came back. Well, when you went in the restroom, these two girls at the cashier were like, "Oh my God, did you know who that was?" Like she was saying to the other, her coworker. And then when you came back, she said to you, I know you know who you are, but I also know who you are. Do you mind taking a picture? Like, so, like, what do you mean you're just getting used to that? Like,
well, not just. So the thing about it is that, like I said, as a hairstylist, we are in a job of service. Yeah. So I learned very early on when you're dealing with celebrities that if you out celebrity a celebrity, that becomes an issue. Right. So for a long time, I've always just downplayed who my influence, like all of it. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like if I was with a client at the Bronner Brothers show, I let them know from that, listen, I'm like Beyonce in here, so y'all not they're not gonna really pay attention to y'all because I really am the star, yeah, and yeah. So, but in the real world, you know, that's what I just did, like, because you know, because we're in the thing of service, so it's like it's hard when you're working on your client and if somebody's like, hey, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, bitch, I'm at work. Right. Don't do that. Right. Like, chill out. You know, so
what are the perks of being famous?
Well, the thing, like I said, for me, I never took advantage of it because I never accepted that's what that was.
Okay. Now, what are the drawbacks?
The drawbacks for me is that people automatically assume they know who you are. People assume that you're rich. You have an expectation held to you. You just have an expectation held to you that is sometimes unrealistic.
Do you find that people who knew you before you were famous try to prove to other people that they know you, that they're comfortable with you? Yes. Even if it's something as little as, oh, I know him, let me FaceTime him, just to prove.
Yes. But that's all the time. That's even if they don't know me before that. If I gave my number to anybody, they'd be trying to FaceTime me. I'd be like, why are you FaceTiming me? Like, you know, that's just people are just weird, and people are weird, and it took me, like I said, going to therapy for me to really understand who I am. Not as far as me personally, but who I am as Derek J.
Right.
You know, so
who's the personality? Who are you as the personality?
Yeah, and now I'm working in that moment of accepting that. That's why I was very envious of Bevy and Lawrence, because they are very comfortable in who Bevy Smith is and who Lawrence Washington is. They're very comfortable in that, and they know what they want. They don't mind asking for it. They don't mind looking at you crazy if you don't bring it to them. They don't mind they don't mind when you walk into a place and they don't get the greeting that they're supposed to get. They don't mind letting everybody know that this is not correct. Like they don't. I'm just not that. I'm not that person.
And I don't think you have to be that.
You don't have to be that, but it's still. But also, when you play it too far back, the people don't respect you.
Correct. Now, I'm not saying go back too far.
Yeah. So it's trying to find a happy medium.
Exactly. And I think that it's a journey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like with sexuality, people get comfortable in it.
I'm 36 now, honey. I don't want to wait. I don't want till I'm 50 to find a figure.
Well, no, but you're figuring it out now. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very personal journey.
Yes, it is.
Just like one's sexuality or being the first person in your family that's successful, if you will. Like it's all about a process, and I think this is just your process.
Yeah.
What made you first decide to go to counseling or therapy?
Oh, because I knew I'm very aware of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very aware of my issues. I'm very aware of. I'm very aware of who I am.
So was it more interpersonal stuff, or was it to handle?
Well, it was more. I went because when I went to my cousin, I said, "Listen, I know what's wrong with me. Mm-hmm. I need you to give me the tools to get up out of it."
Yes,
I've been doing it for so long.
Right.
So this is my problems.
Right.
So you tell me what I need to do
Right.
to work up out of it.
Right.
So that's
it's not attached or tied to the business or fame or is any of that?
No. I mean, no. Like
Okay.
I feel like I should be further than where I am right now. I do feel like I should be doing more. Like what we all do. But I do know them. So my actions hasn't allowed me to be to where I'm at. So now it's like, let me break the cycle. And I need help breaking the cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want to be doing that you feel like you're not doing?
Well, I want to be back on television.
Okay.
But I want to be back on television in the way I want to be back on there. I want to be back in more of a lifestyle moment. Not, I don't want to be on there gossiping about nothing. I don't feel like talking about people. Like that's not my character.
Right.
I want to be back in a lifestyle or in a helping moment. So that I feel like I would love to have a brand partnership in the hair industry.
So do you want to move completely from doing hair?
No, the hair is my life. I mean, the hair is that's my life.
That's your passion.
Yeah. So I mean, I could do both.
Because go ahead.
Go ahead. What was you say?
No, I was gonna say, because are you still working with what's the Irv Gotti series that you were telling me about?
Yeah, Tails. So yeah,
Tails.
we are getting ready to start. So that's I'm behind the scenes of things.
Right.
So we start back. I think we start back shooting that in July. I think.
Okay. So you are still doing that.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. So I work behind the scenes. Like I do, like I had to get out of the habit of. With we went to see Ayana the other night, and I had to, and a lot of stuff she was saying I did.
Yeah.
So it was like people say, "Well, what you got going on?" "Oh, girl, I ain't got nothing going on." But it's like, no, bitch, I am department head for movies and television.
Yes.
And I create looks for these shows, and not just this. I'll go straight to YouTube. Like I'm on TV.
Yeah.
So and I had to start accepting. Like start saying it. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm not just doing anything. So
yeah, like because again, even in saying that, you're downplaying.
Yeah. Well, once again, it's like I don't want to be like but
right.
I'm starting not to care no more.
But I think there's a certain amount of, and I've said this to people before. I think there's a certain amount of arrogance. Not in a bad way, but there's a certain amount of arrogance that you need to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because you have to be audacious enough to think, I'm good enough to step out on my own and make my own money and not go to a job and wait for a check weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is. There's a certain amount of courage that it takes for you to promote yourself, self-promote on social media.
Yes.
I've actually had people say that I've had somebody say to me once, "You always promoting your stuff on social media," but said it in like a negative kind of way.
Right.
Came up to me in a restaurant.
That right person?
Uninvited. Uninvited. Offered this unsolicited piece of information. It's like you just always promoting your books and da da da. Like, because I've grown in that space, I knew that it had nothing to do with me and had everything to do with him.
Right.
Because really what I heard him saying was, I envy you. I long to be able to be courageous enough to step out on my dream. That's usually where it's rooted in. Because a very basic example that I give people too is, when you look at Beyonce, and just a basic example, when she has those fans blowing, she has told someone, I need a fan here, I need one right here to blow, I need one back here, I'm gonna need you to situate it. Like, she's telling, like, that brand works because she's not afraid for people to say to people, this is what I need. And a friend of mine, she says this all the time, and I always use it in the context of a relationship, but it applies in this too. And part of taking care of yourself is telling people what you need. And so I've learned to do that, because I, like you, was the same way. I didn't really want to speak too loudly. I didn't want to look too cocky. I didn't want to look like... But see, you have to step outside of...
yourself
and stop trying to think about what people are thinking about you.
And I do.
So what are you working on now that we need to keep an eye out for? Tales you said is coming.
Well,
back.
yeah, but that ain't my stuff. I'm just working on that.
Right.
So I stepped into a space of I can't wait for people to do something for me.
Right.
So so that's why if you look at my social media, I started my 1 minute with Derek J's to try to. To start pushing this lifestyle brand. I started my YouTube channel, which is a whole lot more difficult than I thought it was. Because I didn't realize that YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter are all these their own worlds.
Yeah, they are.
I just thought they all integrated with each other, and they don't.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, I thought they don't integrate with each other.
And you have to. And someone said to me years ago when I put out my first book, he said, Craig, never turn your nose up at an opportunity to, because like he was telling me, well, you should be on Pinterest. Right. And I'm like, well, I don't need to be on Pinterest. I'm on Facebook and this. He said, no, but there are people that are on Pinterest that are not on Facebook and Instagram. And then the reason that I'm on Snapchat is because of that same very reason. They're their own world. It's a whole community. That's an opportunity to reach somebody else.
So I'm doing that on YouTube. I have my first. I put up my first part of the documentary I did, Gay Like Me, is on my YouTube channel, so you can watch that there.
Okay. What's your and it's Derek J, your YouTube channel?
Yeah, Derek J-A-E.
Okay, J-A-E. Yeah. Okay.
And then also on my YouTube channel where I'm doing a cooking show. Called Soul of Us, which is Soul of U.S. So Soul of United States. So Soul of Us. And basically it's like going into people's kitchens, regular people cooking regular stuff. Like, what is your favorite thing that you like to cook? Okay. And just because the soul of us, it starts in the kitchen. Yeah. And it's just a very impromptu, casual cooking moment where we're just having a casual conversation and just chit chatting.
So, can you actually cook?
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I can.
I can't really remember what I had to eat at your house that Thanksgiving.
If you need to come in for refreshing, I can definitely have you over. Let you know I can cook. Yes, I can. Okay. So yeah, but the thing is, I want to give them the opportunity to teach me. So.
Well, listen, I think a part of this this counseling or therapy that you're doing and this new realization for you is going to help propel you, because with clarity comes action. You know what I mean? You can see yourself and you can put things in place. And so I think that you're on the path to put together this team. Yeah. Because it really does take a team.
It does.
To do what you do.
I've done everything for so long myself. And because it has worked, but now it's not that it's not working, but it's not working as fast as I would.
As efficiently as it could.
So now I have to put together.
Because if you have somebody that can handle and manage your social media aspect of it, not like your Instagram, but like somebody that could really work on the YouTube part of it, like as far as uploading and editing the stuff that you want to put on there, like because oftentimes as an entrepreneur, you're wearing all of the hats. Yes. And part of being a great entrepreneur is knowing when it's time to pass that baton. Not completely, you still oversee, but you pass it to let somebody else manage certain aspects so you can focus on the creative part and just being an artist. All right, well, tell everybody what's your Instagram and your Facebook and wherever you want them to find.
They can find me.
Derek J.
No, but everything is Derek J Hair on everything.
Derek J Hair.
Derek J Hair, DEREKJ Hair on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook.
But the YouTube
is Derek J-A-E.
Right, Derek J-A-E.
Yes, and that's my sister's initials backwards. Okay. So it's still Derek and Erica.
Okay. All right, well, listen, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
I'm glad you finally made it.
Or whatever. I had to stalk you on your live.
On my Facebook Live?
Yeah, for me to get here.
Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I never had to beg to be on somebody's show.
Derek, we've had each other's numbers.
I'm just saying. I mean, but I thought I would get a call. I mean, it's your show. I don't think, like, people request me to be on stuff. I don't request them to be on the stuff. So, but it's okay.
You really gonna do all of this right now?
We was having a conversation.
Well, listen, what I would say is you have always supported my work. You've bought books for people. You've said, oh my God, Craig, come in. Let me get a couple of these books. Let me buy a couple of these books. I need you to give one to him, give one to him. Like, you've always done it. So I appreciate that. You've used your social media platform to post me on your page so that your followers would learn about my work. So I appreciate that, because all of that helps push me forward. And so if there's anything that I can help you do, then...
Well, thank you.
You are very welcome. If this is your first time listening to So Much to Say, be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're available for free in Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, wherever you can listen to a podcast. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I know you didn't do it yet. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a live conversation on my Facebook Live. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart on Facebook. Be safe, keep loving yourself.